Yo, what's good guys? Another video here. Today we got this video here. This was under the comments of the last video that basically talked about why America is just shit and absolutely blown my mind. And I just, honestly, the last video's views did fucking pretty shitty, which sucks because I was really hoping that a lot of people would see that and get the same kind of wake up call I did. But either way, if one person sees this and gets, something from it, it's worth it to me. So let's get to it right now. No wasting time. Let's go.
This episode and others like it are made possible by the generous support of my patrons on Patreon. If you'd like to help me make more content like this, consider becoming a patron at Patreon.
One second. We're back. I wanted to get my phone, so if there's anything said in this that I want to Google real quick, I can. But yeah.
Patreon.com/secondthought. I'm going to say something that will probably offend many of my viewers. Let me preface this by saying that I, as an American, include myself in the following statement. Americans are quite possibly the most willfully ignorant people on the face of the planet. We have access to the sum total of all human knowledge, yet our understanding of the world rarely extends beyond our own country. And even then, the majority of Americans believe in a vision of the country that does not actually exist. It's not that we're stupid, we just tend to blindly accept that the US is the greatest place on Earth, and therefore don't see any reason to educate ourselves about the realities of the rest of the world.
That right there is so true. And I'm probably going to be pausing this a lot. I don't even give a crap about length. But that right there is so fucking true. What he just said. I actually... People got so mad at me in another video now that I'm thinking back, because I said something like, I don't see the reason for Americans to go to other places because we have it all. I point blank remember saying that. It was maybe a few months ago. And it's that's so true. A lot of people in the comments actually did open my eyes a little bit and were like, they kind of had some points, but yeah, that is very true. I've fallen for that myself.
In this episode, we're going to pull back the curtain on how America actually compares to other countries, and consider why the richest country on Earth fails to treat its people with dignity and fairness. I'm going to provide a list of important topics, then for each item we'll compare the American experience with that of citizens from other nations. Hopefully by providing a side-by-side comparison, you'll be able to see the stark contrast between how most Americans see their country and how it really stacks up against the competition. To give you an idea of just how skewed the American perception of our country really is, let's start with a pretty shocking example. Compensation for what are considered low-skilled jobs. We'll take the quintessential American company, McDonald's. McDonald's is the world's largest restaurant chain by revenue. It operates in over 100 countries and serves over 69 million customers every day. As of 2018, McDonald's was the second largest private employer, with 1.7 million employees, behind Walmart's 2.3 million. How many times have you heard someone refer to McDonald's jobs or workers in a derogatory manner? For some reason, people who work at McDonald's are seen as inferior or lazy or have any number of other unfair and unkind assessments leveled at them. This probably stems from the old notion of flipping burgers.
I feel like it's not just... you hear it more with McDonald's, but I feel like it's fast food places in general do that. Same with Burger King, same with Taco Bell, same with, wherever. The only place I really haven't heard it too much is places like Starbucks and that's about it. Starbucks. But yeah, KFC, I feel like they all get that kind of thing. Less common, but it's fast food places in general, but I know what he's talking about.
Burgers being a job anyone can perform. But the animosity towards low-wage workers has grown significantly in the past few decades. And in America, McDonald's workers really do suffer a low wage. As of 2020, the average crew member at McDonald's makes $9 per hour. The average McDonald's cashier makes $8 per hour.
Wow.
The federal minimum wage in the United States is $7.25, a rate which has not been raised in over a decade, and which should not be considered a reasonable wage for any position, considering the fact that a full-time minimum wage worker cannot afford to rent a 2-bedroom apartment anywhere in the United States, and can't afford a 1-bedroom apartment in over 95% of US counties. Now, the all-too-common response to data like this is something like, well, yeah, it's not a hard job, you should just find a better one. Here's a simple question. Should any job, regardless of technical skill required, pay workers so little that they cannot
No,
afford to rent
fuck
even
no.
the smallest place to live? Not to mention other necessities like utilities, food, and medicine. Absolutely not. That is inhumane and cruel, especially coming from the second largest employer in the richest country on the planet.
Yeah, that's
Other
insane.
notable objections include McDonald's has to make a profit. If they pay their workers more, they might go.
Okay, hold up. How much does McDonald's pay in the UK?
According to The Sun, average McDonald's hourly pay ranges from approximately £8.25 per hour for night team members to
How much is £8 in dollars?
£8 equals $10.06.
So, and what did they say? How much does McDonald's in America pay their workers?
According to CNBC, workers at McDonald's company-owned locations will see pay raises of an average of 10% over the next several months. Entry-level employees...
It says $11 to $17 per hour here. So, maybe that information's a little outdated, or my Google's wrong, or the video. But yeah, I don't know. If anybody actually works at McDonald's, feel free to enlighten me in the comments.
Especially coming from the second largest employer in the richest country on the planet. Other notable objections include McDonald's has to make a profit. If they pay their workers more, they might go out of business.
That's just
First of-
bullshit. I mean, bro, McDonald's makes bank. Like, bro, McDonald's makes fucking crazy ass money. They can afford to pay more. That's just a lie. They're just greedy bastards. Let's be real. If that's true, which phone says they've given them a raise, but still.
First of all, if you can't pay your workers a fair wage, your company should not be in business. End of
Facts.
story. But again, McDonald's is not struggling to make ends meet. In 2019, McDonald's raked in $21 billion in revenue.
This shit gonna
But
make me
no matter
hungry.
how obvious the exploitation of low-wage workers, Americans are hell-bent on praising the very companies doing the exploiting. Take this article on Reader's Digest, for example. It's titled, "This is what McDonald's workers really get paid." You see that and think, oh, nice. Finally some news showing how poorly these workers are compensated. Then you scroll down and nope, they're actually praising McDonald's, saying things like, the food chain is also great for paying their workers fairly, and McDonald's is one of the highest paying fast food chains in the United States.
Average $8 with a range of 7 to 15. This says it was like, I forgot, but whatever.
This level of sycophancy is insane. If $8 or $9 an hour is some of the highest pay in the industry, that doesn't indicate that McDonald's is paying fairly. It indicates that a massive chunk of the population is being paid poverty wages. This is where taking an international perspective is so critical. If all you see is feel-good stories about how well McDonald's workers are paid, you'll never know how badly American workers are actually being treated. Let's take the same company, the same position, but in a different country.
Okay.
Here's a McDonald's in Denmark. The average McDonald's worker in Denmark, for doing the same low-skill job, makes $22 per hour.
What?
Well, hold on, you hear Reader's Digest scream from across the Atlantic. McDonald's workers in America get paid vacation days after just...
Wait. So even if what I found on here is true, it's still double. Well, yeah, and isn't Denmark's currency worth less too? Which it might be worth more. I don't know. Don't take that out of term. I'm not that skilled with that. But I thought, I don't know. I have a lot of Danish people on this channel. Maybe y'all can let me know.
low-skill job makes $22 per hour. Well, hold on, you hear Reader's Digest scream from across the Atlantic. McDonald's workers in America get paid vacation days after just a year of work. Wow, enticing. In Denmark, when you're hired at McDonald's, not only are you making nearly 3 times what you would make in an American Mickey D's, you also instantly have access to a full year of paid family leave and a pension.
Wow.
No slaving away for a year to prove your value to the company. You're hired and you're treated fairly. Simple as that. McDonald's can afford to compensate all their workers like this, but they won't, because US laws allow them to exploit American workers to the point where they're basically slaves, earning the bare minimum to survive, paying all of their income and often going into debt just to pay rent, and
That's
having no
insane.
way to escape this vicious cycle because they're working such long hours. This is the case across all of America's low-wage jobs, of which there are many. The plight of the low-wage worker is incredibly dire. And all you have to do to understand that is look at how those same workers are treated in other wealthy countries. Let's move on to another topic: work-life balance. Fair wages are definitely part of this equation. If you're paid fairly, you don't need to work a second job, which will free up your time to be spent elsewhere. But we're going to focus on other metrics, specifically the length of the work week, vacation time, and parental leave. Let's start with the US. Most Americans would say
The other video did actually touch on this a little bit, but I'm curious what this guy has to say. I remember, the other video did touch on this stuff a bit.
that 40 hours per week is full-time. That seems to be the general consensus. But, in keeping with the country's exploitative labor practices, the hilariously named Fair Labor Standards Act does not actually define what qualifies as full-time. That's left up to the employer. Okay, why does this matter? Well, think of your past part-time jobs. Did you get any benefits? Healthcare, 401k? Probably not. Most benefits, when they're offered at all, are reserved for full-time employees. Companies don't want to provide benefits because they affect their bottom line. America is all about cutting costs, and providing workers with fair compensation is a cost. So, imagine you apply for
That is very true. I saw a guy in the comments. I'm not going to put his name out there. One, I don't even remember his name. And two, I don't want to expose anybody's names on these videos, but I'm sure you can find him in my other video. He basically broke down. He was like, America isn't a country, it's a business. The way it's run is like a business, not like a country. That is one of the most true things I think I've ever seen, and especially after watching that video, and this video is just confirming it. Like, for real, America is basically ran like a business.
a full-time job benefits because they affect their bottom line. America is all about cutting costs, and providing workers with fair compensation is a cost. So, imagine you apply for a full-time job at Best Buy. You're offered the job, but they tell you they only have part-time positions, but they can give you almost full-time. They make it sound like they're doing you a favor, offering you more hours than normal part-time. But this is just another example of employers exploiting.
They're basically like, yeah, I'll give you almost part-time, so you're almost doing the amount of work I have to give you benefits for, but I'm going to give you the same amount as somebody who's doing way less than you. That makes sense, yeah. Like, that's exactly why I've said my whole life I will always run my own shit. I will never work for anybody else. Like, my whole life. I'm only 19, but I've always made money through other means than getting regular jobs. And I'll always stick with it because, this just proves to me somewhat what I already known, that working for other people, especially in America, is just getting fucked over, especially with these big companies. I mean, it depends on. I could take that back a little bit because I feel like if you get the right job with the right people, like small businesses and shit, like you could get done up well. But yeah.
Positions,
so
but they can give you almost full-time. They make it sound like they're doing you a favor, offering you more hours than normal part-time. But this is just another example of employers exploiting their workers. If you work 37 hours per week, you're essentially a full-time employee, but they don't have to provide you any sort of benefits. No healthcare, no vacation, nothing. This is a common practice. Companies will hire people, but keep them just below the threshold for full-time to avoid providing fair compensation. I've seen it happen. I used to work at Best Buy and they would do it all the time. And that's just the companies who are still trying to appear generous. Others will simply not offer benefits at all, or set their full-time positions at 50 or 60 hours per week. Sales positions are notorious for this. They'll often say, well, we expect you to work 40 hours, but all the top sellers are working 60 to 70 hours per week. This is coercion. They're trying to pressure you into working more hours to benefit them, and the compensation is never what they claim it will be. By allowing employers to define full-time work, American workers are held captive by corporations, forced to either work absurd hours to qualify for full-time benefits or find a second job to help cover the cost of things like health insurance. Both of these options lead to a terrible work-life balance, and as real wages have decreased and benefits have been offered less and less over the years, huge numbers of American workers have developed an unhealthy work-life balance. For example, in 1960, when workers had real bargaining power, only 20% of American women worked. Today, 70% of children live in households where both parents are working full-time. Where does all this lead? As of 2020, over 85% of American men and 66% of women work more than 40 hours per week. We work 137 more hours per year than Japanese workers, 260 more than the British, and 499 more hours per year than the French. Why do other countries have such a better balance? Because many of them have laws that cap the length of the full-time work week. Companies are required to pay their workers fairly and...
Now, this is my question about that, though. If you have laws that cap the work week, doesn't that mean then if people want to work more, if they want to make more money, they can't because the law says that this is how long the work week has to... That might be a really stupid question, but I could see a con to that, possibly. Let me know. Again, man, I'm here for the knowledge, so if you guys give me knowledge, hopefully you guys are gaining something from this video. Yeah. If not, then hopefully watching me gain shit from this video is entertaining. I hope.
Than the French. Why do other countries have such a better balance? Because many of them have laws that cap the length of the full-time work week. Companies are required to pay their workers fairly and allow enough time off for employees to maintain a healthy work-life balance. That's not the case in the US. Vacation time is a similar story. Whereas many other countries mandate that employers provide paid vacation and sick days, the US does not. In every industrialized nation, workers get more paid vacation days and holidays than in the US. Here's a depressing graph to illustrate just how poorly we treat our workers. France 31, Spain 34,
Can we just break down real quick? Bruh. We look at, like, say, people who live in, I don't know, different, I'm not really seeing any of the countries, but different countries as, man, it must suck living there, because it, like, say, Japan, like, man, it must suck living in a lot of these places in Japan, man, like, damn. But yet, they get better deals with crap than we do. How's that work? You know? But, like, that's insane. That is actually... Wow. That's...
Austria 38, America 0. 0 paid vacation days, 0 paid holidays. And remember, these are the mandated figures. Every Austrian worker gets a...
So that's the minimum. So that's not even, oh yeah, you got a real good job. If that's like, wow, your job's kind of shit because you're only getting that. Like, bruh, that's, wow. Well, confirmed it. Definitely sticking to running my own shit. Fuck getting a regular job. Goddamn.
America 0. 0 paid vacation days, 0 paid holidays.
Actually, I wonder if there's more business owners or, like, you know, small time, you know, little people who just do small time shit that make money on the side in America than, like, other countries because the jobs are such BS. I mean, even most people I know don't even notice, so maybe not. I don't know. Now, I don't know. Let's just get to watching it. I'm sorry. I'm not being very entertaining. I'm just genuinely thinking out loud right now.
And remember, these are the mandated figures. Every Austrian worker gets a minimum of 38 paid days off per year. Even in the worst possible employment situation, they'd still get 38 paid days off. In the US, many workers are lucky to get Christmas or Thanksgiving off at all. And the odds that it's a paid holiday? Next to 0.
Like, that right there, very true. I remember, I think it was this past Easter, my mom, she couldn't spend time with the family because her job basically forced her to go to work. It was literally, like, she was supposed to have the day off and everything, and the job calls her and it's like, hey, can you come in, blah, 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 whoever the fuck ran off, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, yeah. I mean, I guess they didn't literally force her, but I mean, I don't know. You guys get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying, I hope.
Get 38 paid days off. In the US, many workers are lucky to get Christmas or Thanksgiving off at all. And the odds that it's a paid holiday? Next to 0. Let's move on to our final comparison, paid parental leave. Many Americans aren't even aware this is a thing, so let me explain. When an employee of a company has a child, sometimes they're offered parental leave, a period of time where they can stay home from work to bond with and take care of their new baby. This greatly benefits the employee, the child, and, in the long run, the company, because the employee will be happier, less stressed, and more loyal to the company. Of course, offering paid parental leave doesn't benefit corporations in the short term. And if there's one thing that encapsulates the American business philosophy, it's short-term gains over all else. So it won't surprise you to learn that the US is the only industrialized nation on the planet that does not mandate some amount of paid parental leave. This may be shocking to my American viewers because being able to get paid to spend time with your newborn child sounds like an impossible dream in our dystopian labor market. And honestly, it probably is impossible in our current America.
One thing I will say is, I'm a bit less shocked about some of this stuff because I heard it from the other video. So this video here is almost not comparing, my bad. This video here is almost, just confirming. But still, a lot of this stuff is shocking because it does better at breaking down what's going on in other countries. So I'm a little bit less shocked about what they say about America, but it's still very informative for me. So, also, sorry if I tossed up any words throughout this video. I'm in focus and think mode right now, not get shit out right mode.
Because being able to get paid to spend time with your newborn child sounds like an impossible dream in our dystopian labor market. And honestly, it probably is impossible in our current America. We're so invested in self-destructive capitalism that even suggesting the possibility of paid parental leave would put US politicians out of a job. That's not the case in the rest of the industrialized world. In fact,
That's fucked. That's actually... So you telling me when politicians are trying to, actually help people, which is fucking rare as shit, but beyond the point, they gonna get fired over it. No wonder why all the fucking politicians are dickheads, because all the fucking good ones get weeded out. No, I should have known that, honestly. I'm surprised, I'm shocked by that. It makes sense when you actually say it out loud, but yeah. Wow.
Capitalism that even suggesting the possibility of paid parental leave would put US politicians out of a job. That's not the case in the rest of the industrialized world. In fact, every other OECD nation, and even in many third world countries, new parents are guaranteed at least several weeks of leave.
Time out. No, wait a minute now. So you're telling me... Because that's one thing if different countries that are, at least close to equal, if not, somewhere close to, the same level of, advancedness as America are doing better. You telling me third world countries can find the means to give people paid leave to spend time with their kid, but the richest country in the world can't? You fucking serious? Hold up. What third world countries get paid parental leave?
Here are the top search results.
Are you fucking serious? Angola? I'm not even sure how to say this other one. Algeria? I'm fucking stupid. Sorry, I don't pay a lot of attention to the news and shit, so I don't really hear about other countries. But wow. That's 2 right there. Wow. Okay.
In the rest of the industrialized world. In fact, every other OECD nation, and even in many third world countries, new parents are guaranteed at least several weeks of leave. Let's take a look at a few of them. Ethiopia, a country with an annual gross...
Okay, and he's breaking it down right here, showing us. So you're telling me people in fucking Ethiopia,
national income of under $900 per person offers 90 days of leave with 100% pay. Madagascar, 14 weeks at 100%. What? Afghanistan, 90 days.
You're telling me Afghanistan, the fucking country that they tell us is like a minefield, ruled by terrorists, oppressive fucking women have no rights, fucking crazy shit, beheading motherfuckers country. Like, Afghanistan was basically like fucking the war of shit if at least for into news, they know Afghanistan was awful, bro. Living there was awful. They all need to flee to America. I don't really watch the news, but I'll overhear it because my dad's really into the news. So when I'm around them, you hear it's on. You watch it a little bit, but I don't pay attention to it like that. Probably should, but at the same time, it's probably full of shit anyway. I don't know. Sorry, I'm rambling. But you telling me that country can give people the chance to spend time with their kids and not worry about but the richest country in the world, the best country in the world, according to a lot of people, that we can't do that, but they can? Are you fucking serious? That's wow. I ain't even mad. I'm just disappointed.
Income of under $900 per person offers 90 days of leave with 100% pay. Madagascar, 14 weeks at 100%. Afghanistan, 90 days. Denmark, 52 weeks. Norway, 56 weeks. France,
All right, I can't see, Denmark and Norway and I don't do they count as third world countries? I don't think they are third world countries, bro. Like, I guess he's just saying different countries. He's not just sticking to third world countries. Okay. My knowledge of different countries is very small, so apologies if I am saying stupid shit.
Madagascar, 14 weeks at 100%. Afghanistan, 90 days. Denmark, 52 weeks. Norway, 56 weeks. France, 16 weeks at 100% pay for your first child, up to 26 weeks for your third, on top of 104 unpaid weeks.
So you're telling me not only do they give you a set time, it increases with the kids? Are you fucking serious? Shout out to France, man. Honestly, shout out to France. Big up.
56
France
weeks.
are some real ones.
France, 16 weeks at 100% pay for your first child, up to 26 weeks for your third, on top of 104 unpaid weeks. Lithuania, 52 weeks at 100%, plus an additional 52 weeks at 80%. Again, the United States does not mandate a single day of paid parental leave even for the mother, and the father is never considered.
Yeah.
This means that workers in America have to choose to either pay the exorbitant cost of childcare or have one parent quit their job in order to take care of the child. These are both bad options, which often lead to economic precarity. But that doesn't matter to the companies employing American workers.
I know that's what happened to my parents when I was born. My mom, for many years, quit working so she could take care of my dumbass. And it's proven now, because now my parents are way off scale when it comes to work and how it all works. Obviously I'm not going to be putting all their information out, but because of that, their timing with when things are supposed to happen is off, because for 15-ish years my mom didn't work because she was with me, or I think it was less than 15 years, but I don't know why I said 15 years.
One parent quit their job in order to take care of the child. These are both bad options, which often lead to economic precarity. But that doesn't matter to the companies employing American workers. Profit is the only thing that matters. Hopefully, seeing these labor practices compared like this has made it clear that not only is the US not living up to its claim to being the greatest nation on Earth, but also that it consistently ranks poorly and often dead last in terms of labor metrics.
Insane.
Why is it that the wealthiest, most powerful nation on Earth can't pay their workers a fair wage, or provide healthcare, vacation time, or paid parental leave? You should realize by now that it's not that they can't, it's that they won't.
Don't want to.
Everything in America is beholden to the almighty dollar. Profit is the only motivator. If an action does not produce a greater profit, it will not be considered. Over the last few decades, Americans have watched as our livelihoods, our quality of life, and our dignity have all been stripped away by those who already make obscene amounts of money. Those in power say we're all in this together, but that couldn't be further from the truth. The ultra-wealthy and the world's largest corporations rely on Americans remaining ignorant. They rely on us accepting the lie that America is the greatest nation on Earth, that it couldn't possibly get any better. All you have to do to shatter that lie is to take a look around the world. Other nations take care of their citizens. Even impoverished nations, or nations that we've bombed into oblivion, take better care of their people than the US does. American workers need to relearn the language of class struggle and work together to break the wheel of the capitalist machine. If we want to claim that the United States is the greatest place on earth, we need to make it that way.
And it's like, I said it last time, and I'm going to say this again. How, the government, and low-key, they do but they don't, like, they're encouraging this whole cancel culture, everybody argue with everybody bullshit. And, like, look at it. It's helping them. Like, I've been guilty of it, too. Not exactly cancel culture shit, because I've never liked that. But, arguing with the people who are pro-cancel culture. Like, even if you're against the cancel culture, you're distracted by those people who are with the cancel culture. So they're fucking distracting. We're distracting each other instead of working together to make the shit better. Or fighting with each other. And it's so fucking... And it's not... I don't think it's just America. I mean... I don't know. Maybe it is. You guys let me know with cancel culture. I feel like cancel culture is kind of getting everywhere, but especially, it's not even just cancel culture, man. It's just everything, bro. People just need to start working together to make shit better instead of fighting each other, man. It's fucking stupid.
I mentioned at the beginning of this video that this kind of content is supported by my patrons on Patreon. This type of video, while very important...
Go support my man on Patreon. Second thought, man. Yo, I'm gonna head out. Just like always, I'm glad I recorded a video before this, because now I'm not in the mood to watch some comedy videos, but it is what it is. If you enjoyed the video, give me a like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, click all. I hope this video does well so people see this shit, man. But if you'd like, I'm going to leave a link in the description to the other video I reacted to, which caught me completely off guard with this stuff, and is kind of starting to send me down this little rabbit hole here. So if you're interested in watching that, go for it. I'm out. If you made it to the end, let me know. Sorry this wasn't very entertaining. Normally like to have funny videos and stuff, but I feel like this is important. So if one person gains something from it, it's worth it. Bye. With